Greetings, family. Welcome on board. There is another beautiful letter from our reasonable brother. That's Tuntum Network. That's Cyrus. And this letter goes to the President of United States of America, Donald Trump. And this letter contains a lot of the promise that Donald Trump himself make before coming to power and during his win. Even most of we the Africans are proud of him. People didn't understand him, but someone like me, I was proud of him because one, I was thinking he is telling African leaders to rise up. And with the comment that his general make, he has not uttered a word out of it. But as it stands that he is a military man in Donald Trump army, anything that or any attacks, it goes straight to Donald Trump. So this letter is much very important to Donald Trump. So as an African, a Pan-Africanist, that we want Africa to liberate ourselves. When you get this video, please share to it get to the President of United States of America, Donald Trump. Let's enjoy the video.
Dear President Trump, this is my second letter to you this year. The first one was about your decision to withdraw American aids to African countries through U.S. aid. And this one is about Captain Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso. I hope this message finds its way to you. Mr. President, don't allow yourself to be used as an errand boy like they've done to your predecessors. You stood against the status quo, and that's what got you elected. It's important you keep to what has given you success and what you truly believe. Concerning the reports your army generals are feeding you with, Mr. President, you need to find out from we the African people through a non-biased route concerning what we the African people really think about the situation. If you ask any random African on the streets of America concerning their thoughts on the rulership of Captain Ibrahim Traore, I promise you, Mr. President, their response will be totally far away and different from what your generals have told you. The people you are depending on for information are military men who have done all sorts of heinous crimes around the world in the interest of American globalist and capitalist conglomerates in exchange for money and the promise of higher positions. You cannot indulge in that nonsense, Mr. President. You are better than that. When you won your elections last year in America, many Africans celebrated it, including myself, because of what you stood for, the things you spoke about during the campaign. It was nothing but common sense. It resonated around the world. You stand for America, and I respect you for that. Can you also allow us to stand for Africa and for our Captain Traore? Can you do that? And first of all, General Langley's labeling of Traore as a threat to his own people was a language spoken out of disrespect towards the people of Burkina Faso and a statement with a malicious intent, because Captain Traore is not a threat in any way, shape or form. Your general is rather the threat, and France is the threat. He didn't even want to be the leader. I'm talking about the captain after the coup in the first place. It was the Burkinabe people who made that decision. So if it is presidents that are a threat, what you are looking for, I can point you to many on our continent who have taken the presidential seat as a birthright and are not doing much to better the lives of their people. Focus on those ones and leave Traore alone. France's call on you for support is the last thing you should entertain, Mr. President, because President Macron is only doing this because he knows France has nothing without Africa. Their source of livelihood is tied up to the resources of Francophone Africa. He knows it, the world knows it. You cannot be a part of this, Mr. President. You've shut down US aid, which I applaud you for, seeing how diabolic that entity became, masquerading as helpers. But in actual fact, organizing all sorts of coups and being nation wreckers. See what they have done to Libya. Now the beautiful country of Libya is hell on earth. It's divided in two with two different ruling heads. Are you going to continue on that trajectory like your predecessors, or would you stand for truth and justice like you used to say when you said this?
George Bush made a mistake. We can make mistakes, but that one was a beauty. We should have never been in Iraq. We have destabilized the Middle East. You do whatever you want. You call it whatever you want. I want to tell you, they lied. They said there were weapons of mass destruction. There were none, and they knew there were none. There were no weapons of mass destruction.
Are you still the Trump with that opinion that it is important for American army to go into Libya and surgically unalive Gaddafi, like you said here?
Gaddafi in Libya is killing thousands of people. Nobody knows how bad it is. And we're sitting around, we have soldiers all over the Middle East, and we're not bringing them in to stop this horrible carnage. And that's what it is. It's a carnage. You talk about all of the things that have happened in history. This could be one of the worst. Now, we should go in, we should stop this guy, which would be very easy and very quick. We could do it surgically, stop him from doing it, and save these lives.
Or are you the new version of Trump, who is remorseful of the way the whole thing played out?
I made a lot of money with Gaddafi, if you remember. He came to the country, and he had to make a deal with me because he needed a place to stay, and he paid me a fortune, never got to stay there, and it became sort of a big joke. But the fact is that Libya was a disaster from the standpoint of the way it was handled. It wasn't for what you have right now, and right now ISIS has their oil, John. ISIS is selling, and that's among the finest oil in the world. ISIS has taken over the Libyan oil. And we don't do blockades, we don't do anything. They're selling it, they're making a fortune with it. So we go out, we do Libya, we do it poorly as you can do it. You can't do worse. And then now, if you look at what's happened, I mean, the end result is ISIS is selling the oil, and it's a total mess.
Which one are you, Mr. President? Will you be remembered as the Trump who stood on the business of freedom and justice around the world, or the puppet Trump who created more chaos in the world in the pursuit of other countries' resources like your predecessors? Will you allow yourself to be manipulated by the American corporations into starting a new war in Burkina Faso too, Mr. President? Remember, President Obama visited Ghana with beautiful words of helping us build stronger institutions, only to end up removing Muammar Gaddafi from office not long after. Is that the tactic you are also trying to implement? I just want you to know with all seriousness, Mr. President, that the mineral reserves of Burkina Faso and every other country in Africa belongs to we the people of these countries, and not America nor France. Moving forward, that's how we want it to be. Take care of your resources and we will do the same. In addition to that, Mr. President, be honest with us on this one. When you told the Canadian Prime Minister that you didn't need their timber or their lumber, and you didn't need their dairy and this and that and all that kind of stuff in the recent trade war with the world, did you actually mean it, or was it just the usual American sarcasm of saying one thing but actually meaning another?
We don't need trees from Canada. We don't need cars from Canada. We don't need energy from Canada. We don't need anything from Canada. So where we can be self-sustaining, which is in most things. Look, we have more oil and gas than anybody. Our forests are massive, massive forests. We're just not allowed to use them because of the environmental lunatics that stopped us. So I'm going to be freeing that up very shortly so that we don't have to go to other countries to buy lumber.
Or could it be that you don't need those supplies from your fellow white nations, but will kill anything in your path to take from the vulnerable black nations? We want to know that. Where do you stand on this, Mr. President? I can tell you this for sure. This wind of change won't stop. I can promise you it's only going to spread across Africa eventually. The era when the limited media manipulated the narratives and served to us as truth is gone. If MAGA can mean make America great in America, then MAGA can also mean make Africa great in Africa. We love what we are seeing in the captain, and you, Mr. President, you have to learn to live with that. I hope this letter finds its way to you. Thank you to all those who share this link to the people that really matter around the American president until he sees it. God bless Africa and the captain of the motherland. Be sure to subscribe if you are new here and click on the notification bell. It's bye-bye for now.
You see, brothers, to be honest with you, anytime that I heard about Muammar Gaddafi's story, then I become emotional. Not so long ago, but most of us were young, so we never heard much about it. And until recently, I was having a conversation with one old man. This man have been hovering around the whole world, and he was part of Jerry John Warren's revolution. And when he was telling me about Muammar Gaddafi and how they assassinated him, and he asked me to go online, everything is there. And to be honest with you, when I went there, hey, that day tears was flowing from my eye. I have never experienced that tears before. I was like, wow, why Africa? You see, when we were young, the same way they portrayed that this man, Idi Amin, was a bad man. And now we come to realize that this man wasn't a bad man, but he was only protecting his territory. And oh, Charlie, why?
Hey girl, see.
Ano kwamo mianka na awodi nipa pina ekwa tete mu pao amani pampempema wale agu odia sampa spiritual and herbal center awo wo mo yade se wo mbe mu wanya basisi a yade bi tise stroke gonorrhea anaba ma wale mre e wampamu low sperm count wo mo wano aduro tatahwe ene je sam ne se sabane sunsumu nsama wo mo tenete se ye sunsumu aware anasa yare bi ne yade amawo pampabone anabo ana wanya abai amane e court case wo betu charge osisi a enam omadwuma panti ni pampempem ene be fo bokofie ekoye sunsumu nyuma edemom samosini ene enzimani ekabom dia sunsumu niama asie betu obi age wukunu anasa woyere awaresem adwuma sam akwantuom nsam ni nyina ayasuma sam fabadan odia sampa spiritual and herbal center obehuyan of
New Koforidua ejoso ne konongo infinfin aye Ashanti region. Ehon ma number aye didi juma no aye 054 330 4976 and I say 020 134 0421 054 330 4976 and I say 020 134 0421.
Odia Sampa Spiritual and Herbal Center. You be do us some amount.